Welcome to Geeks Corner. I'm Mr. Daps.
I'm Caitie.
And tonight we have a ton to cover, don't we?
We do.
It is an exciting night. We will get all to it in just a minute. But before we do, we have a new endeavor here at DAPS Magic and Geeks Corner.
Woo!
And we have partnered with a company called Mouseways Travel, which really... I don't know if this should come as any surprise because the guy behind Mouseways Travel is a guy named Matthew, and I was, I think, the best man in his wedding. So we go back quite a ways. Anyway, websites are getting more expensive, and we continue to be losing more money. So we are trying this, and I'm just being honest. Come on. So anyway.
Transparency.
We are being transparency. You're hearing about this for the very first time, but Mouseways Travels wants to help you book your next Disney vacation and ours as well. And travel agents can do a lot of work for you with no extra cost, which is the good thing. And our good friend Matthew is absolutely one of the best, and he can help you save money. When you're ready to go to Walt Disney World, Disneyland, or some other Disney destination, let Matthew and his team at mouseways.com/dapsmagic take care of you. Be sure to mention DAPS Magic sent you, and you will help us bring more magic to your devices with news and videos. So go to mouseways.com/dapsmagic for your next Disney vacation and tell them that Mr. Daps sent you. We did it.
Whew.
We have never done that before, and hopefully you guys like that. I don't know. But anyway, check out mouseways.com/dapsmagic, and Matthew will take care of you. He's a great guy that we've known for a very long time, and we've even traveled with him.
That's true.
And survived. Like, we're still here.
That's accurate.
That's when. So yes, we have a travel agent now for DAPS Magic, and hopefully we will be traveling all together soon someday, and it will be great. All right, so let's pop right into the week, I think, because there's been a ton going on.
Let's do it.
First things first, which it's hard to believe that this is the week because there's so much that happened this week, is Raya and the Last Dragon came out for home entertainment reviews. They're coming, and so I got to see, and you got to see Us Again, and that is the short that's in theaters ahead of Raya and the Last Dragon, and will be on the home entertainment release. What did you think of this short?
Animation's beautiful. That was actually the first thing I said, was how stunning it was. Colors are incredible. I did cry, which shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody. It's great. Honestly, it has a lot of heart, and I really enjoyed watching it.
Yeah, and it's got great music. Like, the music really does get into your heart and into your toes, as like I found myself tapping along to the music, and it's beautifully, like, I guess, filmed or animated. There's some great reflections. They use water very well, which I thought was really interesting as I was thinking about this, because I feel like a big theme in Raya and the Last Dragon is that life comes from water. And they kind of hit the same theme from a different approach in Us Again, and in the music and stuff too. But I just really enjoyed the short, and I don't know if this is a compliment or not, but it's meant to be. Is it ended, and I was like, that was a really good Pixar short. And then I was watching the credits, and they have this cute little neon light that pops up that says Disney, and I was like, oh wait, yeah, that's right, it was a Disney short. But it just feels... I don't know why it feels different than I'm used to with Disney animated shorts, but it had more of a Pixar feel to me.
Yeah.
And I don't know exactly why.
I think part of it is the animation style.
Yeah.
Feels a little Pixar-y. Second of all, there's no spoken dialogue, which has been Pixar shorts.
But that's also happened. You think of like Paperman. Like, that's not an unheard of thing.
But yeah, it's not unheard of. I mean, I just feel like stylistically.
And frankly, if Pixar had done this, it would have taken place in San Francisco and not Chicago.
That's true.
Like, that's, I don't know. That just popped into my head.
Great. I would honestly suggest getting Raya on home release just to watch this.
Well, and there's a bunch of really good bonus features
definitely
also at the home entertainment release. And my favorite was actually the one that, going into it, I was kind of like, okay, this might be a little bit of a stretch. And they did a meal inspired by Raya and the Last Dragon.
Okay.
Or Raya and the Last Dragon. And they did it virtually. And to me, it was kind of like, I'm a little bit over the Zoom thing, and virtual get-togethers are kind of like, but it turned out to be really charming, and it was very sweet and very fun. And it was full of heart, but also full of like behind the scenes things about how the movie was made. And so it was a really unique approach to doing a making of bonus feature that I really enjoyed. I would love to see someday a full-on commentary of the full movie that goes over it. And I either missed it or couldn't find it, or I don't know, but I didn't get to see that. So I would love to see that added at some point. All right, let's move to the big news of the day.
Choo-choo!
Today, it was announced at about, 10 o'clock a.m. that next week, people will be able to reserve and purchase tickets to go to Disneyland once again. And so what we know is on the 9th? Or no, the 12th is the first one. The 12th, people that already have tickets will be able to reserve said tickets to go into the parks at Disneyland Resort. And then on the 15th, if you do not already have a ticket, 16th, I'm sorry. It's Thursday, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I knew it was Thursday. But if you don't have a ticket yet, then you can purchase one and get a reservation, hopefully, as well. And I believe you can do that up to 60 days in advance. So moving forward, 60 days, if I read everything correctly. And then if you've already got the ticket, you can actually go in on the 9th and see if it's eligible, basically. So the week of stress for Disney fans has begun.
It's so confusing.
Is it?
Yes. So you get a ticket, but a ticket's not a reservation, but you have to get a reservation, but a reservation's not a ticket. And
which is exactly like Florida.
Yeah. No, totally. I think the funniest thing.
It is the 15th.
It is. I don't know why even numbers were sticking out in my head. Sorry.
Thank you, Roger.
It was like 12, 16. I like even numbers.
I am curious in the comments who's intending to go to Disneyland and get tickets next week when they're open, and when they'll start doing stuff. Like, when do they intend to go? Anyway, keep going.
Funniest thing to me was the tweet that went out announcing that the tickets were on sale.
Mm-hmm.
Or not on sale.
But there was information about it. Yes.
It said, "Hey, Legacy Pass holders, we have news for you." As if that wasn't just public Twitter information. I think that was my favorite part. I honestly, listen, I understand that Legacy Pass holders are upset that they feel cheated out of that they don't have any hard tickets and what have you. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. This is why there are no more annual pass holders, because things like this would flood the system completely. And if it was a system of annual pass holders that had early access to make reservations, they'd be gone instantly.
It's going to be the same problem either way. But I
don't think there's as many.
At the end of the day, they're mitigating the problem.
I don't think there's as many people with hard tickets though.
True.
That are still laying around.
Oh yeah, I see.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Is that people are saying, but I had an annual pass that should count as a hard ticket. I just think that it would flood the system, and
totally
things would be gone before anybody else gets a chance.
Yeah.
So, that's like my personal thing of like, I get people are upset. I just think it's really funny. Is it, "Hey, Legacy Pass holders"? That's the only thing. I think it's super funny. Like, genuinely haha funny. Not like, I just think it's funny. That's it.
Okay.
Did that make any sense to you? What I just said?
Sure.
Did that make any sense to you?
No, I think it does. I have lots of mixed feelings on this, and I feel like it's always hard to analyze and critique these things on I would not want to be the person running social media at Disney or Disneyland, because there's really no way to win with this. And
it's a living, breathing situation.
It's a living, breathing situation. It's a situation literally years in the making. And I think it's the old what is it, proverb? When you basically try to please everyone, you end up pleasing no one.
Totally.
And I think there's been a demand that's necessitated an increase in prices, and Disney has really done its best to keep the prices down and accessible, but it's been too accessible. And so you've got this really
it's a revamp.
yeah, it's a hard situation because now your back is up against a wall and you can't do what Florida did, where you have a third of the tickets here, or three different ways of getting tickets, and if you don't get in that day, you're just going to have to try for another day. And whether you're a pass holder, a day ticket, or a hotel person, and I think in some ways Florida has it easier for reopening because of that, and they weren't closed as long, which also helps from a demand standpoint. So all of that to say is I would not want to be the one in charge trying to figure out how to move forward and how to come up with a new membership program, whatever that's going to be, and then have to communicate that with everybody. And as Doug says in the comment, I don't mind an unfair system as long as it's equally unfair for everyone. I actually agree. And I think they're doing their best, it seems like, with this. And it will be very interesting to see how long it takes the website to crash next Thursday.
Oh, very much so. They also have said no sooner than 8 a.m., which I think is super funny because that gives them so much leeway.
Oh yeah.
But because I think that the site's going to crash at 7:55, place your bets now, kiddos.
8:04. I don't know.
No, because it's going to break in the 10-minute span before 8 a.m. because people are going to try and find that sweet spot of
it's going to be
when to go in.
Yeah, it's going to be ridiculous. And
but like you said, and I'd like to emphasize that point, Disney's doing their best.
Yeah.
At no point am I being like hypercritical for fun. I think that they're doing the best that they can.
Yeah.
So, and I think that a lot of people are having extremely unfair reactions to Disney literally just trying to do their best. And if the system doesn't work, they're going to fix it.
Well, and I'm really curious to see what it's like this summer. Like as things open up as well. I don't know what the prices are going to be exactly yet. I think we're hearing about those on Friday. And if it's day prices, and yes, there's going to be a surge of people that have been waiting for however long to get back into Disneyland. But I'm thinking of our favorite days to go to Disneyland traditionally are when all of the APs except for Signature and Signature Plus were blocked out.
Yeah.
So if you have all of these wonderfully empty days through most of July, and then you get rid of the one group that was still coming in on a regular basis, like is the demand just going to fill in that generally quieter? Because I'm assuming they're going to have tiered pricing again. And so assume, those higher tiered, well, I'm just curious to see what the supply and the demand does, and how comfortable people are with traveling at this point. How comfortable are people going to be in large groups? Are they going to, are they going to show up on these top tier days in the summer, when potentially that's when people go on vacation? Like, it's just going to be a very interesting thing to see. And then how does Disney react to that? Like, it'll be very...
I think the most interesting thing about summer is that if California keeps trending in the right direction, in theory, the economy would fully reopen on June 15th, which assuming that would also mean the travel restrictions lift.
Yep.
Which would mean that people from out of state could come in with no quarantine
and that's the
period.
demand I'm talking about.
Totally. Especially because we saw that at A Touch of Disney. We saw a lot of people from out of state. So I'm guessing that the summer is going to have a lot of people that are like, finally, I can go to Disneyland, which we're also hopefully going to see what that process looks like in the next week of how they're confirming that it's Californians.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, it'll who absolutely knows?
Nobody. We're just guessing, guys. We're just on the internet guessing.
Yeah. Clocky's saying he thought about this tonight. The limit on capacity for the next 60 days, a Monday or Tuesday, will be just as crowded as a Saturday or Sunday.
Which is weird, right?
Just as uncrowded.
Like, that's weird to think about.
And I will say, going to Florida in September with whatever percentage it was at the time, I think it was 15, 20, I don't know.
25.
Was it up to 25 then, or was it right after I came back?
No, it went up to 30 when you left.
Okay. So anyway, it was empty. We went on everything. It was great. So I think this is going to be, in some ways, a very awesome time to go to Disneyland if you can get in, and that will be the real trick.
Definitely.
So yeah, but yeah, I mean, and that comes down to if you feel safe, if you have the funds, if you whatever. And Doug says he thinks that they should limit initially to people who live within 5 miles of the park, who lives 3 miles from Disneyland.
Let's see how far.
Yeah, right. I think we're 7 miles away right now. So how about 10 miles, Doug?
Don't triangulate the location.
Anyway, along with all of these ticketing details that were released today, we also learned what attractions, and we could go into a whole lot more beyond attractions, but we're gonna stick with attractions because there's a lot of news.
There's a lot.
We learned what is going to be open and what is not. And so very quickly, I think, did we actually put what isn't going to be open on here?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, is it at the bottom?
Yeah, we did.
All right, there we go. So at Disneyland, I'm just going to go with closed because there's less closed than there is open, even though there's still quite a bit. No?
Hit it.
Hit it? Okay.
Hit it.
So closed is Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters, Chippendale Treehouse, Davy Crockett's Explorer Canoes, Disneyland Monorail, Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, Donald's Boat, Finding Nemo Submarine Voyage. No surprise there.
No.
Frontierland Shooting Exposition, Goofy's Playhouse, another one not a surprise.
Nope.
Jungle Cruise, yet another one not a surprise. Main Street Cinema, Matterhorn Bobsleds, Mickey's House, Minnie's House, Pirate's Lair on Tom Sawyer Island, Sailing Ship Columbia, Sleeping Beauty Castle Walkthrough, Star Wars Launch Bay, and Storybook Land Canal Boats at Disneyland. At Disney California Adventure, these will be closed. Animation Academy Bakery Tour, no surprise there. Blue Sky Cellar, Disney Junior Live on Stage, also no surprise. Golden Zephyr, a little bit of surprise. Grizzly River Run, Red Car Trolley, Redwood Creek Challenge Trail, and Sorcerer's Workshop will all be closed at Disney California Adventure. We will record Haunted Mansion, Bailey. That is for sure.
Only for you.
Yes. What did you think about what was open and closed?
There was a lot open that I was surprised about.
Yeah, I think everybody was surprised. Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean, Rise of the Resistance, all didn't seem like they would completely be in the realm of opening.
Yeah.
But apparently they are. I will be curious to see if they are still doing boarding groups for Rise. I'm assuming so, but
yeah,
since they did
I would
Hollywood
guess.
Studios.
Yeah, I would guess.
Anything else out of that list that really jumped out at you or surprised you?
About it being closed?
I think Jungle Cruise we should just address real quick because I think they've already started, if I had to make a guess, the renovation for the new storylines.
Yeah.
And so my hunch is we're going to get the new version of Jungle Cruise whenever it's finished and opened. Anything else you wanted to say? We will get the new Snow White attraction whenever we can get in.
Yeah, also. I'm excited about
those. Will probably be two of the higher priority ones that we will film.
Snow White Haunted Mansion.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good idea. I don't know. I saw the Disneyland Railroad running today. I saw a video of it.
We'll film that too.
I know. It just made me so happy. Disney Parks put on their TikTok, like they went on the trains. Mm-hmm. And they went where the new waterfall is, and like they looked at the Rivers of America, and it kind of like took my breath away for a second because I really missed. I didn't realize how much I missed that view specifically.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to just like get on the train for a half hour and do a Grand Circle tour.
I'm just glad it looks like Starbucks is going to be open.
Oh. Whew.
Well,
thank goodness.
One of my favorite things to do is Starbucks, get on the train.
I miss our baristas.
Or Starbucks and then get on the Mark Twain. Like those are two of the nicest things you can do to start your day at Disneyland. That will be a lot of fun.
I agree.
And I don't know that I was super surprised about anything because I kind of been hearing and just watching people I know going to work.
Yeah.
Seemed to indicate certain attractions would be open and certain ones wouldn't, as I've been seeing people get their costumes on very like, that costume. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's just assuming we can get in, and there is park hopping after 1:00, which is also very cool.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fun.
That means we can enjoy our afternoon at Sonoma Terrace.
Assuming we can get in, that will be the trick.
I know.
And that's the trick for everybody in California right now. Everybody's going to be
next week's going to be stressful.
Trying to get in. Yeah, it'll be an interesting day. Heading on over to Walt Disney World though. we learned today that they're changing their face covering guidelines, which means that if you are getting your picture taken, you will be able to take your face covering off during said picture taking. Caitie, what do you think of this? I
have mixed feelings.
That's fair.
So I'll start with the positives. It's following the science. Science says that if you are outside and you are away from other people, momentarily removing your mask isn't going to be harmful to you or other people. Following the science, totally here for it. Thing I'm not super excited about. All the Walt Disney World guidelines specifies is if you are taking an outdoor photo. So it's not if PhotoPass is taking your photo. Yeah. It is if you are taking an outdoor photo. I've seen people take outdoor photos in very strange places. I am very concerned for cast members specifically on what it's going to look like for enforcing for them. Because people can very easily be like, oh, I'm about to take a photo. I just took a photo. And yes, they can get those people to put their masks back on. I just feel like it's going to create a big issue of, are these people taking photos or not? And maybe that's not the fight that needs to be had right now. But even, I just got my second dose today. In 2 weeks, I will be fully vaccinated. That idea, even if we were to go in 6 months, still kind of makes me uncomfortable. Like being around strangers with no masks on. But like I said, it's following the science. It's backed by the CDC. Like they're doing the right thing logically.
And I think there's probably also a level of recognition of the trend line for vaccinations is growing
totally
very quickly. So it'll be very interesting to see. And I think my hunch is this is a way to not be fighting the small things. And then they can really enforce the, hey, you're walking without a mask, which
for sure.
I actually think that's a better thing to be, I think that might be a better thing to be pushing for, or, hey, you're in line, you need to be wearing this, you're not drinking water, whatever that is.
Definitely.
I don't actually know what I think about it, because I think if this starts on the 8th,
okay,
and the trends keep continuing, like by the time it impacts us, it may be kind of a non-issue. Like people are still told to wear masks, but if there's a level of vaccination that's happened by that time,
by 2 days from now.
No, by the time I go to any theme park.
I thought you meant by the time that this starts.
No,
I was like, wait, what?
Like anytime I go to Florida, I have a feeling by the time I'm ever going to get there, the issue is going to be completely gone. And then the flip side of this is if you have an issue with it and it does make you that uncomfortable, probably shouldn't go. Like that's been my kind of viewpoint with this whole thing, whether it's Walt Disney World months ago, Disneyland this month, or any of these, is if you're uncomfortable, you shouldn't have to, like, nobody's telling you have to go to Disney.
Yeah.
And I get that we miss it and we love it, and it's a happy place for many people. But I would hate if somebody had that tainted because they push themselves too hard or too far, or, just out of their comfort zone. And I think it's a much wiser move to be like, hey, if you're uncomfortable with this, wait till you're comfortable. Like
totally.
There's no reason to rush this. And I've had lots of people, I think this is where I kind of see the logic in this. I've had lots of people messaging me lately going, hey, how did those people get that picture in Florida? Because there's a lot of photographers right now going around, it seems like, getting couples shots or whatever shots of people without masks. And I don't mean masks just hanging off their ear. I mean, like, I don't even see it.
Yeah.
And honestly, I mean, like, I don't actually know. I know they're not supposed to. And it could be it's just one of those battles that Disney's like, hey, you know what? There's more important battles to fight, so we're going to move on with this.
And I can't remember where I saw this tweet, but it was somebody posted in like a Disney Facebook group or something that on their Walt Disney World vacation, they had made it an extreme sport to take off their mask, take a photo, and see like how long they would go before a cast member would tell them to put them back on. In some ways, I think that doing things like this it's going to have less stressed out cast members running around trying to stop people like this.
But also gets rid of the, ooh, you're breaking the rule, because
definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
we will not be at the opening of Universal Studios Hollywood
because their website broke.
To answer your question.
Yeah. No, we thought about it.
but we will see. It'll be interesting to see how their opening goes, how this new policy for masks goes in Florida, and what the June 15th and beyond looks like for Disneyland.
Definitely.
All right, moving on into the world of Disney Plus. This week we got a new trailer for Loki, and it looks awesome. I will admit that I have not completely been on the bandwagon of Loki. It's been one of those shows where I'm like, it's gonna be fun. I'll enjoy it when it gets here. Right. I'm admitting that, but I went from having this comfortableness with it of just this will be good, whatever, to seeing this trailer this week, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be good. It's gonna be fun. Mm-hmm. And I actually think in many regards, for the 3 Disney Plus Marvel shows we're getting this spring, this one might end up being the most enjoyable. I think WandaVision, most heart. It's looking like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the most action and adventure. And I have a feeling Loki is just going to be fun and funny. What did you think of the trailer? And
I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think that Loki is a very fun, underutilized character. Every time...
That makes me worried. I'm like, maybe that's what keeps him fun.
Possibly. But I think a series like this, it's not a movie.
No.
I'll say that. Because sometimes you see a movie of someone, you're like, oh, I don't care anymore.
I didn't need that.
But I think a series, it's fast-paced enough that it'll still keep the fun, the zany antics.
Owen Wilson, I think, is a perfect foil.
Yes!
They are... The chemistry there, I when they cast him, I was like, okay, I like him, that's good. And then seeing the two of them, I was just like, that's good.
It's a great dynamic between the two of them.
It's a fantastic dynamic. And I can't wait to see what's the end game of this.
For sure.
I do like what we learned about the plot line through this.
I'm thrilled.
And what they're doing with this and all the possibilities that could come with this. And yes, Clocky, the Picard season 2 teaser was ridiculous, but we're not talking about it tonight because Katie's a few decades behind. And
I'm sorry, I was born in 1996. That's a lot of media to catch up on, guys.
All I can say is I'm curious what we're going to see of the Stargazer.
I don't know what that means.
That's why I said it. But
thank you.
We'll talk about this offline, Clocky. But I'm very intrigued by Loki. I think it's going to be great. And this might end up being my favorite Disney Plus Marvel show of the spring.
WandaVision holds a really special place in my heart. Do you know how many things I have to watch, Clocky? I have so many things.
We got Bad Batch coming up in 3 weeks?
And I still haven't watched Clone Wars or Rebels. We were working on TNG before the pandemic.
Yep.
Any hoozle.
All right, so we're looking forward to Loki.
Yes.
We're also looking forward to Black Widow, which had a trailer come out in the last week as well. Very quickly, Katie, what did you think?
I think it looks fun. I'm not blown away by anything I've seen, though. Nothing was wow, I can't wait. I'm excited to watch this in a movie theater. For sure, when I was watching the trailer, I was like, this needs to be watched in a movie theater.
It's a cinematic type.
Yeah. But I think I'm going to walk out of the movie being like, that did the job it needed to do. I don't think I'm going to be blown away by it. I'm sorry.
Part of me thinks it's just too late.
Yeah.
If this came out 5 or 10 years ago, it was prime time for this movie to be made. And part of me thinks that the train has kind of moved on. And so now, we're into Wanda and we're into there's other characters now. That's what's her face from Thor?
Kat Dennings?
The character. No, the movie.
Natalie Portman?
Thor Ragnarok. No.
Oh, Valkyrie.
Yeah, but
what are you talking about?
It's interesting. Watching these 2 trailers, I found my mind wandering to Valkyrie. I found my mind wandering to Wanda.
Definitely.
And where the MCU is going forward. as opposed to where we've been in the past. And I think there is a distinct possibility, because this does kick us off into phase 4, that we are going to have that push into the future. But I really kind of have this feeling of like, once Endgame was over, I want new stories and I kind of want new characters.
I agree.
And I love these old characters. I think we're going to really enjoy this movie. But I'm more looking forward to new Spider-Man and new Doctor Strange and new actually Ant-Man. Like those kind of things.
Definitely.
I'm more intrigued in. And Clocky is completely right. Loki is the timeline. That's the challenge. But the other challenge is that we are running out of time. Caitie, what should people do?
Go to dapsmagic.com. Check out all the Disney and geek news as it happens. Find all the trailers and all the news that we talked about tonight. Also, subscribe to our mailing list so you don't miss a second of it.
And make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss any of the videos that we have going up. We had quite a few of them go up from A Touch of Disney, thanks to Angela this last weekend. And we've got more things coming that you will not want to miss. But that is all the time that we have for you this week. So we will see you round the corner.
Bye.